Hello, welcome to the Lungleng Show. Today, I want to talk about the conflict between and the confrontation, verbal confrontation between Government of India and the NSN IM, which is also known as the National Socialist Council of Nagalim, Isaac Muiva. So, the General Secretary of the NSN IM has just issued a press statement saying that they will resume armed resistance if the government of India keeps betraying the letter and spirit of the framework agreement that they signed in 2015. So, among other things, this is what he said. I would like to read out some few of it. So he said that there are two agreements that GOI, which is Government of India, has signed with the NSN IM in the past. So the first milestone or agreement, major agreement that they signed was on July 11, 2002, which was known as the Amsterdam Joint Communique. It was signed between the NSN IM General Secretary and the Prime Minister of India, Bihari Vajpayee, the BJP, during the BJP government in India in 2002. So he said that the Amsterdam Joint Communique of 2002 officially recognized and acknowledged the unique history and situation of Nagalim. So which means that Nagalim was never part of India or Myanmar by conquest or by consent. That's what he says. Therefore, the Naga problem is not India's internal matter or domestic problem. In other words, it is a political issue between the two sovereign entities, which is the Nagalim as well and the government of India or India. So second agreement that they signed, the major agreement that they signed is the framework agreement that they signed on 3rd of August 2015. So he says, and they claim that the framework agreement outlines and officially recognized and acknowledged the Nagalim sovereignty since Nagaland was and is not the internal matter of India. So they believe that since framework agreement talks about sovereign rights of the Nagas, they said, I quote, "The cornerstone for the honorable political agreement between India and Nagalim is respecting and honoring the letter and spirit of the framework agreement, wherein, among others, the Nagalim sovereign national flag and Nagalim sovereign national constitution are duly recognized and acknowledged." So it looks like in the framework agreement, Government of India seemed to have recognized or duly recognized the Naga national flag as well as the Naga national constitution. So this is what he's claiming so far. Unquote. Now the question is, how strong are they and how adamant are they when they demand Naga national flag and separate Naga national constitution? You know, sometimes you wonder and we wonder, how long are they going to demand these two things, the flag and the constitution? So here's what he says. Whether it is today or tomorrow, the Nagalim unique history, the Nagalim sovereign and freedom, the Nagalim sovereign territory, the Nagalim sovereign national flag, and the Nagalim sovereign national constitution are non-negotiable. So this is what he says. Either it is today or tomorrow, these things will not be negotiable. Meaning, without this, there cannot be solution. This is his statement. And he further adds, saying here that Nagas will not surrender to India. I mean, if you watch the interview between the T.H. Muiva, the General Secretary of the NSN IM, and Karan Thapar, this is what he says in that interview. He says, Nagas will not surrender to India, either on earth nor in heaven. So this is what he commented a few years ago in Delhi. Now the question is, so what? Now what will be the next step? And here's what he says in that press statement, which is available on public domain right now, or literally in every WhatsApp group. He says, Nagalim and the NSN will not wait forever for the government of India to respect and honor the letter and spirit of the framework agreement of August 3rd, 2015. Neither shall we wait for the GOI, the government of India, to recognize and acknowledge Nagalim sovereign national flag and Nagalim sovereign national constitution in the political agreement. So what he's saying comes with a very bold statement saying that they are not going to wait forever. So what does it mean if they are not going to wait forever? What does he mean by saying that they are not going to wait forever, since the government of India is not recognizing the Nagalim national flag as well as the Nagalim national constitution. So they're not going to wait forever. What does it mean? What does he mean? Let's look at this together again. Since they say that they're not going to wait forever, that means that they're going to do something about it. So because he says that GOI, the government of India, has betrayed the letter and spirit of the framework agreement. So that means whatever they have signed in the framework agreement, maybe, according to him, that the government of India is not respecting and honoring to it anymore. So that is the contention that we can see today, and since yesterday, it's all over the news. So it says, since they're not respecting, now he says, in order to conclude and realize an honorable political agreement, we rule out peaceful means against the ignominious betrayal of the letter and spirit of the FA by the government of India. So now they are ruling out peaceful political agreement. Right? We rule out peaceful means against the ignominious betrayal of the letter and spirit of the FA, Framework Agreement by the government of India. So they're ruling out peaceful means. This is what he says. So to me, and to my understanding, here are two measures they say they will be pursuing from now. Since they have decided that government of India has not respected us, and they have not, respected the agreement, whatever agreement they have made according to the framework agreement. So since the government of India is not respecting, here are two things now they are going to do. The first step is they will try to pursue the third-party intervention to resolve the betrayal of the letter and spirit of the framework agreement. So the first step they're going to do is not directly taking up arms, not directly going against or resumption of armed struggle and so on, but they said they are going to propose to the government of India for a third-party intervention. So third-party intervention, when you think about it, what could be the third-party intervention? So third-party intervention could be the intervention of the United Nations or maybe some international civil organizations and so on. So first thing, they're going to propose third-party intervention to the government of India. And here's what they say. If that is rejected by the government of India, then the second measure is this. And the second option that they will do as a follow-up to the rejection for third-party intervention is resumption of violent armed resistance against India for defending the Nagalim unique history and her sovereign existence. So it's a very bold statement now, saying that they will resume violent armed resistance against India in order to defend the Nagalim sovereignty and the unique history that it has. Therefore, any violent confrontation and eventualities that will follow will be solely held responsible by the government of India. Now, it's a word of intimidation, and it's a word of threat that we are going to pursue two things. Now, the ball is in your court. If you want, then we can still talk. Otherwise, there's no point anymore since you have disrespected us. I mean, this is how I would translate his statement. I wonder what has gone wrong in their negotiation for more than 27 years. It's a long years. If a child was born like 27 years ago, he's like a grown-up young man now. I mean, the negotiation between India and the NSN IM or the Nagas in general have been that long. And since they're not still able to thresh out a common solution for both of them. So it's going to be very interesting as in how they will work around this, because the other group, Naga group, is saying we are not going to talk anymore if you don't respect whatever we have agreed upon in the framework agreement. So I would like to show you a video where Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, talk about how, I mean, after 2 weeks, after signing of the framework agreement in 2015, after 2 weeks of the signing, where he was physically present and witnessed it, he went to Dubai and had a speech and gave a speech in front of more than 50,000 Indian people in Dubai. So this is what he stated in Dubai. Let's listen to it together. I'll play you the video clip here.
आज मैं बहुत संतोष के साथ मेरे देशवासियों आपको कहना चाहता हूं कि अभी 1 महीने पहले नागालैंड के इन गुटों के साथ जो कभी हिंसा में विश्वास करते थे, जो शस्त्रों को लेकर के गतिविधि चलाते थे, उनसे जो बातचीत चल रही थी वो सफलतापूर्वक आगे बढ़ी। निर्णय हुआ, मुख्य धारा में आने का निर्णय हुआ।
A lot of people out there.
60-70 साल के बाद ये संभव हुआ है। मैं नागालैंड की ये घटना का जिक्र इसलिए करना चाहता हूं कि हिंसा के राह पर चले हुए भारत के नौजवानों को और विश्व के नौजवानों को मैं एक उदाहरण के रूप में कहना चाहता हूं, समस्या कितनी ही गंभीर क्यों न हो, आखिर तो बातचीत से ही रास्ता निकलता है।
For those who cannot understand Hindi properly, I would like to translate briefly. This is what he says. I want to talk about Nagaland. Less than a month ago, we moved ahead successfully with different factions of Nagaland after 60 to 70 years of insurgency in the northeastern states. So I'm citing Nagaland because I want to tell people across the world, including the youth, that however complicated a problem may be, it can be resolved through dialogue. And when you come across the table and sit down and have a conversation and dialogue, it can be resolved. He means to say that he has resolved it. He has resolved the Naga problem, which has been like more than 70 years old Naga problem. This is what he stated in 2015, 2 weeks after the signing of the framework agreement. And now people were so shocked. How could Naga problem be resolved and still there is no details worked out yet? So the details were not available even after signing of the framework agreement. So people were shocked and the opposition were questioning, please show us what you have agreed with the Naga group when you signed the framework agreement. Since Modi had declared that he had already resolved the Naga problem, which could not be resolved for more than 60-70 years. This is a verbatim, this is the direct interpretation of his speech. Now that went on, and still people did not know what has been agreed upon. So as a reaction to that, the opposition leader, the president of Congress, UPA, the president of the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, made a speech mocking Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, on the declaration which he made that he has resolved the Naga problem. This is how Rahul Gandhi mocked Narendra Modi in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha. I'll just play the video for you. You just watch this video.
One day, the Prime Minister called all the senior opposition leaders and told them he had achieved what the Congress party couldn't achieve in 40 years. He told the Congress president that he had solved the Nagaland problem. He had solved the Nagaland problem. And he had signed a historic accord. Congress president panicked. She panicked. She called me up. She said, Rahul, what have they signed? Our chief ministers have not mentioned anything. She asked us to check with our chief ministers. We called them up. We asked them, have you heard about the Naga Accord? As my esteemed colleagues know, the Naga Accord has huge ramifications for the states of Arunachal, Assam and Manipur. Massive tracts of land in these states are involved. We called them. They had not heard a word about the accord. What had the government signed? I'm coming to that, my friends. What had the government signed? They asked us. According to the media, even the officials in the Home Ministry and the Intelligence Bureau had no idea. Even the Home Minister had no idea. Fascinating. I'm asking a straightforward question. Did the Home Minister know about the accord? Did the Nagaland Chief Minister know about the accord? Did you tell our Chief Ministers about the accord? And the most important question, where has this accord gone now? It has vanished into thin air. Poof, it's gone. Gone with the wind.
I would say that's the biggest mock that Rahul Gandhi has ever given to Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, in the context of the resolution of the Naga political problem. So, Prime Minister Modi claimed that his government had resolved the Naga problem in 2015. Now, Rahul Gandhi is mocking him for stating that in 2019 in the parliament. So, it's quite interesting how the politics around this was and has been played by different political parties. And having said that, even Jairam Ramesh, yesterday, in response to whatever has been discussed, the news broke out from as a press statement from the General Secretary of the NSN IM, T.H. Muiva. As soon as he learned about that, he made a comment on X, on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, and he says, on August 3rd, 2015, the non-biological PM, meaning the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because he claimed as he's non-biological, so he's kindly making fun of him and talking about the Naga problem. On August 3rd, 2015, the non-biological PM boasted about this being a game changer that would transform Northeast. 9 years later, we still are in the dark regarding the details of the agreement. And now this happens. This means the NSNIM has declared that they would resume armed conflict, and that will lead to the breakdown of ceasefire. So he says, bluff and rule is the Modi hallmark. I mean, bluffing and ruling people is Modi's hallmark. This is what he's saying. It's very interesting how they're responding to all of this process. Now, the biggest question today I would ask, or all of us, is, so now what will happen if the NSN IM take up arms resistance again? Here are some of the few consequences that can come. First, if the ceasefire breaks down, they will all go underground, meaning for now they're living with the civil, in our society all together because it's under ceasefire. But if the ceasefire breaks down, they will all go underground, meaning they will disappear into the jungle like they used to, and they will take up guerrilla warfare. That tactics, Naga nationalists are known for smart guerrilla warfare. That guerrilla warfare is the most difficult kind of war to be waged. Regardless of how powerful you are as a government, as a military, guerrilla warfare is very, very dangerous. So NSNIM is known for that, as per the media sources that we have been reading. And secondly, there will be repercussions on the common citizens. So since they will all be vanished in the jungle, the repercussions, the violent repercussions will come upon the common citizens. That's my assumption, because they will not be found anywhere. Well, history also tells us that Indian armed forces, in the process of hunting down the Naga armed groups, sometimes they persecute the citizens, sometimes they hurt the citizens, and the casualty will be upon the common citizens, because that is what happened in the past. That's my speculation. And the number 3, the point is, there are a lot of Naga people, mostly on social media, they have been voicing out that ceasefire should be withdrawn because they are tired of illegal taxation, they're tired of whatsoever. They have been talking and they have been voicing out on social media. But the question is, if ceasefire breaks down, the common man, the common innocent people will be the victim at the end of the day. And those who say, keep on writing casually that ceasefire should be withdrawn, probably they haven't seen the bloodshed and the violent bloodshed that happened before the ceasefire days. Probably they haven't seen. And probably they haven't seen how many houses were burned down in the process of the conflict and how many people died. They haven't probably seen. That's my assumption. And many people were slaughtered on the wrong charges. And that's when you read about the documents given out by the Naga people's movement for human rights. You will see lots of innocent people being killed and slaughtered on wrong charges. So there will be rampant human rights violations if this issue goes out of control. I mean, I'm not trying to scare or anyone, but just the worst thing can happen in this manner as well, because this is what happened in the past. So the point is, you cannot be opposing AFSPA, the Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958, and also calling for the withdrawal of ceasefire at the same time. Because if ceasefire is withdrawn tomorrow, AFSPA will be implemented not only in the Naga region, but AFSPA will be brought right to your door. And AFSPA will be implemented in its full potential, like we've never seen before. I think AFSPA is for that purpose, right? To give some sort of immunity to the armed forces. And it's very dangerous to just casually say, break the ceasefire, just take out the ceasefire and withdraw the ceasefire. It's very dangerous. That's what I'm thinking. It's very dangerous because the human casualty and the bloodshed that the Nagas will go through, the innocent ones will go through, is unthinkable. It's too much. It will be too much to take for the people at this moment. So I think the way forward would be the government of India and the Naga group coming together and once again, resuming a conversation, resuming an honest talk on this issue. Without that, everyone will suffer. I mean, there will be casualty from both sides because that's what we have seen in the past before the ceasefire days. There was heavy casualty on both sides, and nobody wants that in the 21st century. Since people are reasonable, since people are educated, the best way to go forward is sitting across the table, be honest with each other, and compromise a little bit from both sides, and have a very genuine conversation and dialogue once more to thresh out a common solution that is honorable to both sides, that is acceptable to the both sides. So with this, I would like to leave it here and let the best thing happen and let prosperity and growth and development happen for the Naga people as well as for the Indian government, and let there be solution at the earliest. That's all that we wish for. Thank you for listening.